Good evening, everyone, and welcome. We are going to be talking about adaptogens and how they can help us reduce our stress. This information comes from Dr. Jocker's article on the top adaptogens for stress reduction. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Dr. Justine, 647-987-9355. Just send her a quick little text. I wanted to welcome Dr. Justine. She's here with us. She's our leader here at Justine Blaney Wellness Center. She works tirelessly day in and day out to really help bring people's health and well-being to such an optimal level. And I also wanted to welcome Dr. Udani, who is our naturopathic doctor here at Justine Blaney Wellness Center. And she really specializes in kind of like women's health and digestive issues. You should talk to about anything, chronic pain and about stress. So between the two of them, they have a wealth of information and knowledge that they are willing to share with us today, and I wanted to welcome them both. Thank you.
All right, tons of great information today. And upcoming, we will have information about our paleo diet, our lifestyle, injuries, that when you injure your back or injure your neck, injure your disc, or you've heard that term slipped disc, herniated disc, prolapse disc. Understanding some of the rehab equipment, the tools that you can use at home, and learning more about detox. So today we're going to be focusing on the top 5 adaptogens. These are things that are going to help you with stress. So today it's super important because we do live in stressful times, not just because of the pandemic. There's just stress with family, with work, with just trying to fit it all in, with regular daily financial stresses, emotional stresses. It happens and it happens to all of us. So, no matter what, no, you're not alone. And our goal is to help you. We are a team, Dr. Udani and myself. We're here to help and we want to be on your side. So, we've got tons of great information about ways that you can help yourself and learn about what are adaptogens.
Mhm. Yes, so exactly what Dr. Justine mentioned. We are here for you, and it is completely okay to experience stress because that is normal. It's just when we have too much of it, that's when it starts to cause, symptoms that we should think about. So adaptogens are basically they are a term for specific plants and herbs that help your body deal with stress better. So a lot of times these tend to increase your resistance to stress, so you don't feel as stressed as often. They can be very promote homeostasis. So this is like it brings your body back to balance. They're mostly non-toxic or nearly so. So there are some that can be, but it's all about speaking to somebody to make sure it's safe for you. And we're going to talk about some of these ones today. So what is stress? This is really everybody experiences, be it work, health, relationships, financial stress, personal development. And this determines whether do we grow or do we kind of succumb to the stress and we get burnt out and things just doesn't go our way. So more than ever these days, stress is a big thing in our lives, and it's about how we're going to respond to this. And adaptogens are another way, along with so many other things that can help you. It's going to be like a tool in your toolbox to help you deal with stress better. So the top benefits of using adaptogens, herbs, and mushrooms is how it can help with your body deal with stress better. So it can help your sleep quality. It can increase your energy level. So it can be increase your stimulation. You feel more energetic. It can support mental clarity. So you feel more clear. Your memory is better. Just feels more sharp. It can improve your mood as well. So when you're feeling tired, we sometimes don't feel as good, and adaptogens can help us feel better. It can reduce inflammation too, and can support optimal immune function. Because if you might notice that when you're stressed, you tend to get sick more often. So sometimes using adaptogens can actually help you deal with these illnesses quicker and get better quicker too. So it's a great thing to have in your medicine cabinet. So, what is the effect of the adaptogens? How do they really work? So, let's say you're not taking adaptogens. What happens is over time, these stresses are going to really push your body into the sympathetic fight or flight system. This is where you have crazy heartbeat, palpitations, trouble sleeping. You're always like sometimes irritable, road rage. That's a big thing for me when I'm stressed. That's how I know. So these can sometimes take you over the edge, right? You can be irritable with your partner, your children, coworkers, and just have trouble with sleep and all these bodily effects too. So what adaptogens do is they actually kind of work like a cushion to cushion all of these effects of stress, so that it balances your nervous system back to balance again, and it helps buffer all of those stresses. So it's a great way that it helps with your body. So this is how they work. They can decrease your fatigue, so it makes you feel more energetic. They can boost your strength and vitality, reduce cortisol, which is our stress hormone. It's usually spiked up really high when we're stressed. It can stimulate our nervous system, reduce inflammation, because whenever there's stress, there's always inflammation too. And it can protect our organ systems like our gut and the liver and the heart. And it can also kind of stop the wear and tear that stress has in our body as well. So these are the 5 best adaptogens for stress relief, and this is from Dr. Jocker. There is actually a lot more that if you're interested, I can talk to you about, because there's there's a spectrum of stress, right? Sometimes you're really, really stressed, and sometimes you're so burnt out from all that stress. So different adaptogens will help you in those different parts of the spectrum. So, for example, ashwagandha, chaga, reishi, tulsi, or holy basil, and rhodiola are some of the good adaptogens for stress relief.
So ashwagandha, we have this one in our house, and I wanted to talk about it because it's part of the Ayurvedic medical traditional areas to help with reducing stress. So it was actually my acupuncturist who introduced me to it, and it can help with like libido, your ability to recover. So he gave it to me when my body was under a huge amount of stress dealing with an allergic reaction. And I used it actually as a tea. So I put the actual green, like kind of tubes into the hot water and created a tea out of it. It can help with moods and depression, tension. It can improve your endurance. So can help with athletes, because athletes, as much as playing sports and being athletic is a lot of fun, it is also a stress on the body. So it is something to help you recover from those workouts. And for students, it can help with focus, memory, and improving that sleep quality. So a lot of the studies say you can take a supplement like a capsule twice a day versus taking the actual plant. So I have personally used it as capsules. I've used it as the plant to make a tea. And I also have the powder at home. When I find I use that the most often, I will add some of that into my smoothie. Just a heads up, if you add too much, it does have a taste for your smoothie. So your smoothie does feel or taste a little more green than sweet. Um, I found when I made the tea, it just kind of tasted like a green tea. So it didn't have a huge amount of flavors. And I chose those 2 routes personally just because I found I didn't want to keep taking a lot of capsules, even though, it's vitamin capsules. I'm one of those people that need to put the one at a time and swallow one at a time. And I just didn't want to have to do as many capsules. So the great thing about talking to a naturopath is finding the way that's going to work for you. For example, I'll try and do certain vitamins in a liquid form just so I don't have to have as many capsules, because I don't like swallowing capsules. Whereas my mother and my husband, they can do like 3 or 4. My mom can do a handful and with water and swallow them all at once. And there's just no way that I can do that. So each one of us is different, and you got to find the way that's going to work for you, and also the timing. Do you take it in the morning? Do you take it in the afternoon? Do you take it later in the day? Most often here, it's something that wakes you up and stimulates you, helps you manage stress. So you might choose it in the morning with a fatigue level. So you have to kind of talk to your naturopath and find out when the best time for you, and also find out how it's going to react with your thyroid. For example, if you have hyperthyroidism or even just signs of hyperthyroidism, Graves' disease, then you want to make sure goiter, like there's some areas, if you've had your thyroid tested, you want to know which adaptogen is best for you. We don't want to be, we say test, don't guess. So, if you were starting to use more and more adaptogens, you want to make sure you're using them in a safe way to know if maybe you're not fully hyperthyroidism, but maybe you have early signs of thyroid concerns, and you want to make sure that these are the right supplements for you.
Absolutely. I'll even add to that, Dr. Justine. So yes, ashwagandha is really good for hypothyroid, so underactive thyroid, but not so good for hyperthyroid, which is where you can have palpitations, you're sweating, loose stools. Sometimes you have those eye changes too. So this is definitely where you want to test before you guess and try taking this to make sure that your thyroid is protected. And you're really right about the pills. Some of the supplements can be really, really big. Like they're like horse pills. And I'm the same where I need to take it one at a time. So a tea is another great way to do it. And speaking of that, number 2 is chaga, which is a mushroom, medicinal mushroom. And this one, you can actually have it as a tea, or it can even be in coffee as well. It's a coffee alternative. It has a lot of really, really high antioxidants, very anti-aging. A lot of these mushroom compounds have anti-aging, cancer-fighting ingredients in them. And they can also balance your immune system. It can boost your immune system to fight off viruses and bacteria infections, and can even help with irritable bowel disease because it's anti-inflammatory. So it's a great mushroom to have as well. And I like to have this actually as a tea because the medicinal compounds are better absorbed in the tea form. But you can also have it in a capsule as well. So these are the 7 benefits of the chaga mushroom. It's super rich in antioxidants, lots of that immune boosting properties. It can reduce inflammation and help with food sensitivities, lots of antiviral properties. So this is where, if you have an autoimmune condition, this is where you want to come and talk to a practitioner like myself to make sure to see if this is the right fit for you, because we also don't want to boost your immune system too much, So this is where test, don't guess, and speak to a qualified health practitioner before you try these adaptogens too. So it can really help with fighting cancer. It's full of antioxidants, can help boost your energy and stimulate and physical stamina. So a lot of athletes actually take chaga as well as like a stamina boosting supplement too. And it can help with reducing effects of aging. And who doesn't want that, right? So how do you take chaga? So you can take it like ashwagandha in pills, powder, extracts, and teas. So research says the common dose is about 400 to 500 milligrams of extract in some as a tea or in the supplement. And if you are feeling really, really tired, you can take this multiple times. But this is also where we have to see, do you need all of that? When should you be getting it? Because you're unique, your health is unique. And this is where, talking to somebody can really help you figure out what's the right dose for you. Reishi is another one of my favorites, actually. It's another mushroom. And it is, we're going to talk a lot about mushrooms here in adaptogens. There's lots of good stuff in them. And these are not the mushrooms you get from the grocery store. These are the ones that if you forage in the forest, they look very medicinal. They have that, mysterious look to them, and these reishi mushrooms. So they're super rich in protein, lots of amino acids, lots of minerals like potassium, calcium, phosphorus, like really, really rich in all of these things. And they can also defend against stress, can give you a little bit of stimulation, boost your energy levels, help with your immune system. So really we call it a tonic. So it helps tonify your body to be more resilient to stress as well. And how to take reishi, you can take it in a tea form as well, and also supplements in a pill form or an extract as well. And the dose for this is a little bit higher than the chaga. So you need about 1.5 to 4 grams of reishi powder per day. But this is also where you might not need all this. You can come and talk to one of us to figure out, is this something you need at this point in time?
How do you or where do you buy this holy basil?
So holy basil, you can get it from a lot of supplement stores in the capsule form. So yeah, I would really go for the supplement stores would have it more because it's standardized extract too, and that matters when it comes to adaptogens. So we know that you exactly get what it's on the label. So yes, it will be in
Same with the reishi. You can't actually just like buy the mushrooms. You buy the powder or the capsule.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So
I've never had reishi
got
tea.
mhm.
Can you give me an idea what it tastes like?
It's gonna taste like mushrooms, so it has
Okay.
that earthy flavor, basically.
I
Yeah.
like mushrooms. So it's
Yeah,
fine. I just
and,
want
you can totally actually some stores do sell it, like, fresh, but because it's foraged, sometimes when it's all fresh, by the time it comes to the store, it might kind of be not the best quality, but I know some colleagues that actually go into the forest, and they pick up the reishi, and they make soup out of it, and, and just, like, put some chicken or vegetables in, and they call it the change of season soup because, it helps your body withstand the change from the summer to the winter. So it kinda, like, helps them. Yeah.
ooh,
It's really, really, like it tastes like mushrooms and, like, lots of that earthy flavor, but it's really good for the body.
nice.
Yeah. So number 4 is holy basil or called Tulsi, which is a very fragrant herb. It's also part of the Ayurvedic medicine herb list. And it can really help with reducing inflammation and also healing skin conditions. This is great for blood sugar as well. So if you're diabetic, and when you're diabetic, sometimes your wounds have a long time with healing, take some time. So it can help with that too. Lots of like good antimicrobial properties, and it's a really gentle tea to have. There's lots of tea form for the holy basil that is really relaxing and calming for a lot of people. And these are some of the benefits of this Tulsi's tea or the holy basil tea. It can, once again, slow down aging process. It can help with your liver, make it work better, help fight cancer, increase your energy and stamina. It also has immune boosting properties, so lots of help with fevers, making help you snap back from a fever quicker. And it can also do things like lowering blood cholesterol and blood glucose levels, reducing your stroke risk. So it's a really good tea to have in your cupboard for whenever you're feeling that stress coming on to take. So there are some studies on Tulsi as well to see how effective it is. And it has shown that it significantly reduced your symptoms of anxiety and depression and stress. And, it can increase your mental clarity too. So a lot of these herbs have multiple functions. They don't just do one thing, they cover many, many things. And that's why it's so cool because, you can take a herb and it does so many things in your body. So how can you take Tulsi? So this is a tea you can make from fresh or dried. You basically boil water and then put 4 or 5 of the sprigs, the leaves. And if you want to use it fresh, obviously you can buy them, but it's kind of rare to find them in the season right now. But Healthy Planet has these teas. And a lot of other supplement stores have it as well. And if you want to extract, the recommended dose is 300 to 500 milligrams twice a day. Now, this might be different for you depending on your medical history. So, highly recommend that before you start any of these, you come and talk to a practitioner so that we know what's right for you.
So Dr. Udani, like we just talked about 4 different ways to have teas. Now, is this something somebody could do, mix and match all of them any different time? Like you could have one Monday, different one Tuesday, different one Wednesday, or are you supposed to stay with one and have that one 5 days a week? Because here it's like twice a day. And so like how does somebody know?
Right. That's a really good question, Dr. Justine. So I always say don't overdo too much too. Like you don't want to take like everything we're telling here right now, you don't need to take all 5 of these herbs at all. No, because that could be really stimulating. You might be jumping off the walls, it could be too much. So try one at a time and try for about 2 weeks to see if you notice a difference. Because your body does take some time to get used to it and to show effect, but it is going to be more long lasting. So I generally say don't mix more than 2 or 3. Sometimes capsule supplements come with multiple adaptogens together, and that is it's already been pre-packaged, so it's to be healthier and safer. So you could try that compared to trying all of these, like the recommended doses all at once. So those are my 2 cents. Yes. And we're gonna move on to number 5, rhodiola. So rhodiola is a golden flower, and it grows in the wild Arctic regions, and it's the root that has more of these compounds, these adaptogens in it. And rhodiola is actually really, really helpful if you are studying for exams or you have something that you need to really be focused for. This helps you stay alert and have good mental clarity. It helps with fatigue and mental stress. So it's a very good herb to kind of keep you, like, let's say you have an exam in a week, you can start it in the beginning of the week to kind of help you build up to it as well. And this one also, you can take it in a dried root extract. So you can do tea or supplements. Now, this one is 200, 600 milligrams. So this is also like, you might need to just take it by itself or mix it with something else, but you definitely want to ask a naturopath like myself before you do all these things, because rhodiola can also be stimulating. So let's say you have trouble sleeping. You don't want to take this 3 to 4 hours before you sleep, because it can kind of keep you up too much. So a lot of these adaptogens have, stimulating effects. So if you have trouble sleeping and calming down and relaxing, you want to avoid this during nighttime.
I've often heard of this, Dr. Udani, as the healthy coffee, the stimulator. Instead of, if people want to try and get off coffee, that first morning coffee, they might look towards having some of these adaptogens.
Absolutely, Dr. Justine, totally correct. Even the mushroom coffees are really good too. Has chaga and reishi in it. They're a great way to wean off more of that caffeine fix for sure. And they're a lot full of antioxidants and lots of anti-aging, anti-cancer, so lots of good properties in them. So who should use adaptogens? It's really, whether it's focused on fitness, productivity at work, recovering from an illness, there's so many different, like a lot of, even the herbs that we talked about, they can have different levels, the strengths to it too. And it can really help you based on your condition. So I can let you know what would work for you, because we also have to remember your health history too. Like if you have high blood pressure, or if you have trouble sleeping or cholesterol issues and things like that, I can help you figure out what's the right herb for you and what's the right concentration and when to take it as well. And because there's so many varying, really, really great effects of adaptogens, really everybody can take it. But I do recommend children not take it as much, because it is a herb once again, and we want to make sure the kids have the basics done. Healthy lifestyle, diet, and exercise can really help them too. Some of the side effects of these adaptogens are, trouble with sleeping, because they can be really stimulating. Sometimes people get digestive issues like bloating or diarrhea. Dry mouth and dizziness could be there, especially if you have blood pressure issues. So I highly recommend talking to someone first before you trying these out. And also make sure that you purchase really, really good quality, if you can, organic, and to verify that this actually has what it says it does. Sometimes it might just say, oh, there's a reishi extract powder, but we don't really know what's in it. It could be mixed with so many other things. So make sure you get it from reputable brands. Some of the brands we do carry at the clinic as well. And these are some good tips to keep in mind as well. And also, if you are experiencing side effects, you definitely want to talk to a practitioner. It's rare that you do, I'll be honest, but if you do, then you want to talk to a practitioner to see how can we help change these things up.
Such amazing information, those 5 adaptogens to try to learn more about. And definitely remember that if your body's going to be able to use these adaptogens, the message has to get from your digestion to your brain. So we have nerves from your brain that exit your brain, your efferent nerves, and nerves that go from your body to your brain, your afferent nerves. So it creates a loop of information. And so you need the good gas, you need the good supplements, you need the good herbs, you need the good adaptogens, but we also need to make sure we reduce stress on the spine and the nervous system by finding and removing subluxations. If the nervous system's not functioning well, it can't receive the messages of all the good stuff you put in the tank. So was so amazing for Dr. Udani and I to work together. Such great information to share and to learn a little bit more and to experiment with your naturopath on the right ones for you to adapt to your lifestyle and the stressors in your body. So share this with friends, talk to your naturopath. If you don't have one, contact the office at the Justine Blaine Wellness Center and make a meet and greet appointment with Dr. Udani to learn more about how you can manage stress through some of these different teas at home. Upcoming, great information about the paleo diet or paleo lifestyle, handling those severe disc damage when they can be so painful and no painkillers work, how you can use different type of rehab spinal equipment and different ways of detox. We've got great stuff for you all the time, so stay with us. And of course, these are free, so share them with friends and family. You connect with us on Instagram, you can connect with us on Facebook, YouTube, and our website. And as always, the way you can help someone else is to do a review, because that's how they're going to judge this information, judge our wellness center, judge us. And we want to do these from the bottom of our hearts to help you.
Mhm. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I hope you learned so much from today's talk, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Dr. Udani. Great information. And thanks to Dr. Jocker's article.
Exactly. Thank you, Dr. Justine and Dr. Jockers.